Da-na, da-na, do-do-do-do-do. Da-na, da-na, do-do-do. We're all ready to watch 49ers win. And now here's Coach Crendor. Do-do-do-do-do. The Bears here too today.
Hey.
Everybody is.
I
There.
think the Chiefs will win.
Oh shit!
That's the whole
Well,
podcast. All right.
that's
Good
it.
enough.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Good season of football again here on Those Guys in the Bear. Appreciate all the support. Follow us on Twitter.
Hey, fun fact, I was telling Rob, I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow. I'm going to go to Galaxy's Edge, and I'll take a picture and tweet it to Rob and be like, hey, Star Wars.
I'll be mad because I want to go and I'm jealous, honestly.
Yeah.
It seems cool. All the stormtroopers, they walk around and they roast you all the time. That sounds
Dude,
hilarious.
I want a stormtrooper to roast me.
Me too. Just buy a lightsaber while you're there and stand near some stormtroopers and look awkward, and they will come and roast you. It would be glory. Keep it on video. Yeah.
You gotta play the part of Hobo Crendor.
That's true.
Just have like a half working or half broken lightsaber and just see what happens.
Yeah, and then well, you can like make a lightsaber, I think.
Are you? By the way, are you using the this week's the Super Bowl slate that what's his face made? That's the Star Wars one.
Rob, are you okay?
It's a plate slate.
Plate, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
We're using that. It's the Star Wars looking
yeah.
Super Bowl thing. It's pretty legit. So yeah, it's pretty neat. Thank you to Matthew Hidalgo who made it for us.
Yeah.
And
thanks for the plate slate.
Thanks for the plate slate. Dude,
I don't know what do you call it. This is slate. I don't know.
All
right.
So you know what's weird is
It's called a slate. He's right.
Yeah,
It is called a slate.
I'm no slatologist, all right? I'm just calling them like I see.
I'm no geologist or anything, but that's definitely a plate.
I'm not a paleontologist, but these dinosaurs.
He's no
are
sociologist. He's just doing the best he can.
Yeah.
So if you couldn't tell, there's a lot of football to talk about this week.
Yes. There's a lot of football to talk about this week, and by a lot, I mean 2 games that happened. One, honestly, okay, last week, I said, I want a Packer-Titans Super Bowl so bad that I know it's not going to happen. And the prophecy was foretold. It happened. That's why I locked the Chiefs. I knew they'd win, even though I didn't want them to win. And then my hope that the Packers would win went out the window very fast. So, quick, NFL news here. We've got Bengals coach Zach Taylor said re-signing AJ Green is definitely a priority.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep.
He is a good player.
Yeah.
He is a good player. Julian Edelman, shoulder surgery, expected to be ready for offseason.
He's 32. How old is he now?
I don't know.
He's probably getting up
Yeah,
there.
he's getting up there.
Edelman's.
Because he was playing with Welker.
Yeah, he's 33.
That's right. Damn.
He's 33 and a major shoulder surgery. That's going to be...
Yeah. Although, in fairness, he's never really necessarily relied primarily on his own, extraordinary physical ability or anything.
Yeah.
Well, if you include his quickness, I think he does, because that's like how he gets open most of the time, is just being able to be that much faster than his defender.
That's true. But he's not running around on 4.
Yeah, he's not using his shoulder.
He's not running around on 4 legs.
It would be pretty fucking awesome if he
That
was.
would be sick, dude.
Yeah, right?
We've
Most
all seen the
exciting
video of
receiver
that
in the
girl
league.
who was raised by horses. We know what she looks like.
Jim Caldwell will not return to the Dolphins, but is ready to return to coaching.
Okay.
If anyone wants Jim Caldwell, anyone?
Yeah.
Does anyone want Jim Caldwell?
No? Okay.
I don't know him that well, but I vaguely remember that he's not well liked.
Thank God.
Yeah. He's with the Colts and the Lions, right?
He's
Lions.
back. Woo.
Yeah. And of course, can't be a week without Antonio Brown.
Can't there be though? I want this one to be the week.
Sorry,
we'll,
Bear,
we'll
it's already
cover
been
it for
played.
10 seconds. Police investigate Brown for possible battery between him and moving truck workers. There's your Antonio Brown news of the week.
Oh wow.
And Brian Bulaga, not sure if he'll resign with Packers, which means he probably won't. So we're going to need a right tackle, but maybe Veld here will be back. Who knows? So let's talk.
Wait, hold on. There's one more piece of news. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me just one quick second. Just one quick second. Yeah. Also,
Mhm.
big piece of news. This will be the first Super Bowl in which there will be a woman coach on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
Katie
I saw
Salas
that.
on the 49ers. Yeah.
I thought it was the
That's
Chiefs. Or is it the 49ers?
Or I thought it was.
It's the
Yeah,
49ers.
Oh, it is?
But
Okay.
she's got the Kansas City skyline tattooed on the inside of her arm, which is
Oh,
hilarious.
really?
Oh, yeah. That is kind of weird.
That is funny. Yeah,
my
no, so
God.
good for her, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
The way,
that's
Yeah.
the way you delivered that, Bear, it sounded like you're about to say she's got a huge rack.
Well,
I guess if you thought so.
I didn't even know about the story, so I was just talking about the delivery. It was great.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. First one in.
Also, the Giants hired Jason Garrett to be their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Little, what is it with the, like, East Coast? You know, like Rob was saying, they're incestual.
Very intense.
They really are.
Here. I don't know what the hell the
I
deal
don't-
is.
I don't get it, but hey, Jason Garrett ready to outcoach the Cowboys defense with the Giants offense. Neat. Granted, I feel like he'd be a better coordinator than a coach. So
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, he became the interim coach from being a coordinator, right? So
Yeah.
he was obviously at least good at it then. So
Yeah. So
Okay.
well, let's see how it goes.
Pre Super Bowl, pre next season predictions. Who's going to be the better coach, Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy?
McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy, yeah.
I'm glad that we all think the same,
Yeah.
unless Coach feels differently.
I don't. Here's the thing: if it's old McCarthy, Garrett. If it's new McCarthy and he's changed, then McCarthy.
Yeah.
You didn't even make an actual
problem.
prediction. You're just conditionally choosing.
the
both.
problem is
You're like,
when
I'm going to take the right answer. if it's
Okay, the
convenient."
problem is when I see Mike McCarthy's coaching style, it's not much different from Jason Garrett. That's my problem. That's what
Who's
I said a
going
few
to
weeks
end
ago.
with a better record next season then?
I don't know. Like, I
Well,
don't,
McCarthy. I mean, it is also a little apples to oranges, isn't it? Because isn't McCarthy a head coach now?
Well, yeah, he's a head coach. Garrett's an offensive coordinator, so it's not like super
Yeah,
comparable.
but you can clearly see who has the better
like
offense.
who has the
between
better
two.
offense? All right, yeah. But the thing is,
Yeah.
I mean, they got second year Daniel Jones. They got Saquon Barkley in the backfield. They got some decent receiver. Like the Giants aren't bad. Like they'll get some draft picks.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
mean,
think
another
they'll be
year.
pretty
I think they could
Like,
definitely
Here's
turn
the
around
thing.
next year.
I have my track record on Mike McCarthy. All right, go back to like this time a year and a half ago, and just listen to my opinions on Mike McCarthy when he was coaching the Packers. I was like, just give the ball to Aaron Jones. Just give the ball to Aaron Jones. And the Cowboys fans this entire year, like, Jason Garrett doesn't run the ball. He doesn't give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm like, well, have fun.
Is Eli is he coming back next season or is he just done?
Oh, he's probably well, I don't know. I don't think
mean,
that's
I
right.
can
That's
see
what I
him
was
going to
thinking.
another
I was
team.
trying to find news on that. I can't find anything.
I want him to come back and go to another team after what they did to him on the Giants. Honestly, like I'd love to see him succeed somewhere else.
I'm sure he could go somewhere like,
him on the
compete for a
Bears.
starting job. Honestly, yeah, he could go to the Bears
That
could
would be a good
definitely use
spot.
that.
Yeah, I mean, he is 39. Actually, I didn't realize he was that far
Oh
up.
yeah.
If he can still zip it, put him on the Bears, man. Like
Honestly, he's
you
better
want
than-
Eli Manning or Trubisky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take Eli.
Yeah,
Bear,
I'd definitely
please tell
take
me
Eli.
you saw the video of Belichick going to the Senior Bowl wearing the 7 Super Bowl rings visor hat.
No, I didn't.
Just
You
pure
gotta
gangster.
put that in the foosn balls, dude.
Yeah.
Just
Put it
Pure,
in there.
it's just pure gangster. I'll link it to you.
Let's see this.
It is great.
that's
He
fantastic.
just, I mean, like it's just like, yeah, we got 7 Super Bowl rings,
What
and
if
now we have a visor.
Could you imagine Just a little flip
dude,
flop.
yeah, just the still image alone.
What a
Baller as
freaking
fuck.
What a freaking gangster.
What if Eli Manning went to the Chargers, the team that traded him?
That would be hilarious.
Or the Colts?
That'd be awesome.
That would be a fucking terrible decition by the Chargers.
Yeah,
yeah.
to fucking replace aging Philip Rivers with even older Eli.
That would be
Manning.
a Chargers
Weird as
move,
hell.
though. A definite Chargers move.
It would be a Chargers.
I could see Andy Dalton maybe going to like the Colts or even the Chargers. Like that could be.
Yeah,
a
I could
fit.
see he could definitely be transitional in Cincinnati. Although I don't see, the thing is, I don't know if they want to go transitional, especially if they're going to bring back AJ Green, because you'd rather, like, if I were the Bengals and I was going to keep AJ Green, like if I'm going to pay him money, then I would get a rookie in. Like I would get a rookie in there and start him this year so that he has time to work with AJ Green, not waste a year of AJ on a transitional QB.
Yeah.
But-
I've also I posted this in our chat thing, but they are saying rumors that Phillip Rivers could go to Tampa Bay.
Yes.
And that would be well liked by Sinvicta, as you can hear.
I would happily take it, Coach. It'd be the first time in a long time that we've had a quarterback that isn't garbage.
That's I actually said it a few weeks ago. I think I was like, Phillip Rivers, Tampa Bay would be interesting, and then here we are.
It'd be funny though if Tampa Bay traded like, the most Thanos-like QB for the second most Thanos-like QB.
That
Like
is
Phillip
true.
Rivers is also known for having like equivalent touchdowns to interceptions in
Yeah.
several years.
Dude, I don't even care. He's a million light years more likable than Jameis Winston. Like
That's
we,
true, yeah.
like I, my mom's birthday was very recent. We all went out to Papados, which is it's a local like super high end fancy seafood restaurant. And even there, we were like, my mom was mentioning how much she doesn't like Jameis Winston. She's not even a Bucks fan. She's not even a
Maybe just
Bucks
rubbing
fan.
off on her.
We have family visiting from New England, from Rhode Island, and they come from the Patriot side, and they were talking about how much Jameis Winston was like not liked up there, and it's all due to his like everyone thinks it's funny. With how bad that he does whenever, like, it's the whole, like, get ready everyone, he's about to do something stupid meme, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But people genuinely dislike him because of all the extracurricular stuff, like the Ubers and what he did in college and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I've been saying it forever. He's total garbage. He needs to go.
Well,
Yeah.
He's a garbage human being.
one last announcement, and we'll get to the games, but kind of a shocking one. Luke Kuechly retired. Kuechly?
Yeah.
Kuechly.
Kuechly? Yeah,
Kuechly,
Kuechly.
Yeah.
Kuechly.
Which is crazy. He's only like 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally stunning. I saw that like the moment it happened, and I was sure it was not real. But
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys doing that now. It seems like what the play is finish out your rookie contract, get your paycheck contract, and then bounce. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame them at all.
That's what I would do. Like,
Yeah, me too.
watching the Aaron Hernandez documentary really makes you, like, it's kind of hard for me to make fun of CTE now after watching that, because I'm like, man, I didn't realize that like.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched the documentary?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched that, but I did watch a PBS thing on CT, and they pretty much compared it to like getting in multiple car accidents like daily.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you have no idea, man. Like, it's the very end. Is I mean, look, Aaron Hernandez died. I'm not spoiling anything, all right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows he died, but they show a side by side comparison of his brain.
Yeah.
To a normal brain, and his brain had straight up holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what it
I
does.
mean,
Yeah.
you could see through it. It was ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like that is horrible.
And remember, like, he was only in the NFL for like what, 2
3
years?
years, I
3
think.
years?
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And he was
Or 2 or
young.
3, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
so young.
He was in his early 20s. That when they first looked at his brain, I remember reading an article and they said like his brain looked like a 70-year-old man's.
Oh, it's
brain.
horrible.
Like,
It's just
and so like that tells you a couple of things, right? It tells you that not only is it that CTE is probably extraordinarily prevalent in the NFL, but also that they probably get it way before they even enter the fucking league.
Mm-hmm.
Like all
Probably in
those
college.
years,
Yeah.
all those years in the NCAA where thousands upon thousands of them aren't getting paid a fucking nickel and don't even get a chance to get into the NFL. Those people probably all have fucking CTE for the rest of their lives, destroyed their brains, and the NCAA doesn't even drop them a dime.
One thing I will say about that documentary is that I was worried that they were going to try to blame football and CTE on everything that happened, and they absolutely do not. They say it didn't help, of course, but they basically insinuate that it only amplified his negative tendencies.
Right.
But ultimately every single choice that man made was down to him. It was he didn't, none of this stuff happened and he was the victim because of football or anything like that. They make sure that that the audience knows that he's to blame, and that's what I really appreciated about the documentary. It's okay. I mean, it's not like it wasn't as engaging to me as like Making a Murderer or something like that. It was made by the same people, ironically, but it's worth watching. It's only 3 episodes, so I thought that was interesting because, like, as someone who doesn't have kids and probably won't, but if I ever did have kids, like, I would actually strongly think twice about letting them play football. I mean, that the image of his brain is just seared into my mind now. I'm just like, holy crap, dude! Like, this man had holes in his brain.
Well, that's why the NFL's so against all the concussion stuff. They're just like, that's fine.
They don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. Like I feel the same. After I started learning about CTE like a couple of years ago, I was just like, if I ever have kids, no, absolutely not.
And it makes me worry about my brain. I didn't even play at the collegiate level. I only played.
It makes me really glad I didn't play beyond like a couple of weeks in high school. Yeah, like
maybe that's the reason why I have partial Alzheimer's now. We call it Alzheimer's here.
That's so odd, baby.
But hey, maybe that gave me my idiot savant power to curse everyone's locks. By the way,
by the way, to put it into perspective too, it's not just football that CTE is going to be a problem in. Because remember, CTE, as far as I understand it, it's not about getting concussions; it's about subconcussive blows, which means that they started opening up the brains of dead soccer players too, and they had the same thing. They had CTE, and they expect it's probably from the headers, from doing headers all the time because those are subconcussive blows. I imagine it probably is prevalent in hockey as well.
Oh yeah,
like. If I ever have
MMA and everything.
Oh God, yeah, it must be fucking hell in there.
It's just from the brain rocking back and forth constantly, like just sloshing about, and from high impact blows. So anything that's
giving me a headache, man. Fuck.
Yeah. So if I ever have a kid, no contact sports at all. Like you play basketball, have fun with that. It's a good game.
Yeah. Basketball's probably the best one you can play.
Should also mention that, like, they're in the documentary, they do point out that there's thousands, if not millions, of people who have played football throughout their lives who don't have problems.
Right. Yeah.
It's just known to be an issue.
It's a risk factor when you do it.
It is a risk factor. That's what it all comes down to, is a risk. But honestly, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I had a son, if I'd let him play football. If he wanted to, I'd say, yeah, go do something else, play baseball.
Yeah,
baseball works too.
There you go. Yeah, baseball's nice and safe.
Play Fortnite. Is Fortnite so good? Is that a good esport? No, no, it's not. Okay, well,
Dad, Fortnite came out 14 years ago.
Apex Legends, they have that? Is that no? Overwatch 4
also came out 14.
Dad, you've been in a coma for 14 years.
Where am I? It must be my CTE.
What year is it?
So yeah. Let's
that's the news.
That was all news right there.
Let's talk about football games. We'll start with the 49er Packer game because so in my mind I thought, hey, we can't have a game like the last matchup we played against the 49ers, right? And to be fair, we didn't. We actually scored 3 points the last time we played them in the first half. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. 49ers, Packers, November. Hold on, I just gotta do a quick statistics. Yeah. Oh no, we were down 23-0 at halftime last time. This time we were down 27-0 so a little different.
A little worse.
A little worse. Here's the
Did
thing.
Rob stub his toe or something there?
I had a feeling we were gonna lose, but I didn't think it would be another blowout. And it was. So here's the thing, when we started the game, right, I was like, I kind of hope we kick the ball and get like a defensive stop. And they did. And they got the stop, a 3 and out. And I was like, okay, all right, here we go. Then we get the ball. Then we start moving it down the field. We get to midfield. And I'm like, yeah, here we go. We're driving. And it's 4th and 1. And I was watching the game with my dad because we celebrated my grandpa's birthday. So everybody was together. Me and my dad were watching. And I was like, they have to go for this. And he was like, no, it's too early. You got to punt it. I was like, no, they have to go for this. Like, if they kick this ball away, I will tell you right now, the 49ers are going to get it. They're going to get all the momentum back. They're going to drive down the field, score, and we're going to be behind. And guess what happened? We punted the ball. They got the ball. They ran it down the field. They got a touchdown, and it was over. And I was like, why? Why do we punt? I was like I was like, it's over. Like at that moment, I knew the game was done. And it was, because that's the thing. It's like when you go into an opposing team stadium and you're like, you get a 3 and out stop, you get the ball, like you're actually driving and you get a 4th and 1. It's like you haven't had a negative yardage play yet. Why would you punt? You're at midfield. Like just like do like a toss, a quarterback sneak, something like a quick slant. Like it's fine. And then you literally are just like, well, guess we didn't do it that time. Punt. And then everyone in San Francisco's like, oh, hey, here we go. 0-0, get the ball back. And then Mostert's just like 30-yard run, 15-yard run, 10-yard run. And then once that happens, you're playing the 49ers game. And once you start playing that game, they throw the ball 6 times and they just run it nonstop. And you get worn down. And that's what happened.
Yeah, important to note, to Krendor's allusion here, Jimmy Garoppolo threw 8 total fucking times. He threw the ball only 8 times and completed only 6 passes.
Yep.
To put it, I actually did want to mention this to you because I think that part of the reason that the Packers lost is they got behind and then decided to abandon the run.
Yes.
Because if you look at Raheem Mostert, had 29 carries, and all of the Packers had 16 carries. So literally Mostert by himself almost doubled the amount of the carries of the entire Packers team. I have to think that's a mistake, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, we were running the ball and it was working. That's another reason I wanted to go for it on 4th and 1. I'm like, it's working. Like, just go for it. Like, you have to, cut them down while it's early. You got all the momentum. You just stopped them. You got the ball. You're driving. It's 4th and 1. You can get a 4th and 1 right now. You're doing it, and you're running the ball. Jones getting almost 5 yards a carry. And then, once, if you get ahead and you go up 7-0, then they have to start passing, and they can't run as much, although they, maybe they would. But at the same time, it changes their mindset of like, oh, shit, we're down. We got to start, doing some other stuff. So, I mean, you
gotta play to win, coach. You gotta play to win.
The worst part was this entire season, I heard like the Packers and the LaFleur and all of them being like, all gas, no brake, all gas, no brake. And then 4th and 1, they hit the fucking brake. I was like,
well, not in the playoffs. You got
playoffs.
That's when you have to play conservative. Is the playoffs?
That's when you play cover deep and prevent defense all day.
Yeah,
you gotta play to win, coach.
You gotta play to win.
Scared defenses don't stop anyone.
And that it just spiraled from that point on. Like at that point, we were down 10-0 or something. We were making a good drive, and we fumbled the snap, which hasn't happened the entire year in their territory. They got it. Then Rodgers throws a pick, which rarely happens, and it was just like turning the ball over, bad field positioning. We got a punt of like 20 yards. It was bad. So I think in the grand scheme of things, obviously I want them to win, but it doesn't surprise me that they lost, so it doesn't hurt as much. So I'm like, hey, I didn't even expect to be here with this team. I thought I don't think we were an elite team, but I was hoping we'd get lucky enough to get in there, but we didn't. And that's okay.
mean, you got farther than any of our teams, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we all said throughout the year that this felt like one of the weakest 13-3 teams that any of us have ever seen.
In fact, I would say it was worse than a lot of Packer teams that also got to this point. Like, I think the Brett Favre 2007 Packers were better. I think the 2010 Super Bowl Packers were better at like 9-7. I think the like, you know, even the Packers team that lost to the Seahawks, that team was a lot better, and that was with like limping Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
what that would say to me though is that, like, even though your team was, I think, relatively weak this year, you still ended up with 13 wins, and you got a whole other year for more draft picks and stuff to get better. So I think, all things considered, it's been a pretty positive year for the Packers.
yeah, I mean, I'm not too upset about it. Like, I think they got a good future. They got pretty much everybody coming back, which is nice. And the biggest thing in the draft, which, you know, we can obviously talk about this in our draft show, which we'll do eventually, but we need wide receivers really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. And probably a couple of offensive, defensive linemen, but who doesn't? Am I right? But yeah, that's the biggest need right now is wide receiver, because it's literally just Davante Adams and then maybe Alan Lazard, who I don't think is a 2. He's like a 3 or a 4, but he's like a pretty good 3 or a 4. But we need another guy really badly.
I mean, I'm never drafting a Packers receiver again unless if it's Davante Adams.
Yeah,
because I got stuck with what's his name, and that was horrible for this. Like, I was like, oh, he might go off. He might go off.
Yeah,
he
Valdez Scantling. He fell off like hard. Like, once they figured out that all he does is run in a straight line and catch bombs, they would just put the safety over the top, and then he couldn't do anything.
That sounds like Robbie Anderson.
Yep, it's probably a good comparison. So yeah, they just need the number 2. Because we had Randall Cobb as the number 2 for a while, but then he was gone, and then, you know, here we are. And on the flip side, the 49ers, they just, you know, they run it's going to be an interesting game because Chiefs 49ers are kind of opposite offenses, where you got the heavy passing attack and then the heavy running attack. So it's like, which one's going to prevail? Who knows? But
also a fun Aaron Rodgers stat related to the 49ers coach. He is now 0-3 in his career against the 49ers in the playoffs.
Oh, yes, I'm well aware. I remember the other 2 losses we had to the 49ers were divisional rounds. That was back when the 49ers lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl against Joe Flacco, of all people.
Yep.
So that was a fun year. It was just...
He passed one of Favre's records as well. The most career postseason passes for a Packers player.
Damn.
Wow. Dude, you know, one of the things that I'm disappointed about is we didn't get Chiefs Packers, so we didn't have the opportunity to finally see Brett Favre versus Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. Because if you ask me, Pat Mahomes, he looks very much like, honestly, a better version of Brett Favre.
Yeah. I would say he's like a mixture of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Like he's that type of quarterback. So he makes those like crazy exciting plays and everything, but he also has a lot of like Rodgers arm strength and accuracy and a bit like it's kind of crazy how good he is.
Yeah, he's insane.
But I've seen a lot of people also being like, Aaron Rodgers washed up, Packers draft the quarterback now, blah blah blah, and it's like, well, first off, he's been playing with one receiver pretty much this entire year, and he was injured for like half of it. Our tight ends are like 80 years old. Our wide, and then, you know, he's got like no weapons to work with. So I think once he gets, you know, another wide receiver, tight end, whatever, it'll be a little better.
Also, straight up, fuck out of here. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's like an elite.
Yeah,
he's an elite. He's like one of the few elite quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, like he might not be 2010-11 Aaron Rodgers anymore, but he's still, you know, he's still easily good enough to. It's like how Peyton Manning with the Broncos was still good enough to get him to the Super Bowl. In fact, I'd say he's better than Peyton Manning with the Broncos.
If you have Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, or Tom Brady, you don't fucking trade them or drop them. Yeah. You count your lucky stars that you managed to find a Hall of Famer. Like
Yeah.
that's all you do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you could be stuck with your only hope being Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like so many people are like, move on. And it's very quick to say that.
Yeah.
And then once you have another quarterback that's not that good, you realize how good they actually are, which I assume people would figure out by watching Brett Hundley play a few years ago, but I guess they have not figured that out. Or Kaiser.
As a Jets fan, it frustrates me to no end seeing spoiled fans of teams with great quarterbacks being like, well, maybe it's time to move on. Like, suck my fucking dick. You know how long we've been looking? You know how long?
And as a Bucks fan, I feel that. Thank you,
Also-
Bear.
Sorry.
Like a lot of people say that, but also don't forget this is the 49er defense that's like a very good defense, like one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, they ran for 220 yards with Mostert alone and 4 touchdowns. Like he had Derrick Henry numbers this game, and that's part of the defense's fault as well.
Yeah, I mean, 4 touchdowns is fucking insane.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
we definitely need some run defense. That would be useful, but.
How many?
fucking passes, dude? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
8? He didn't even break 100 yards.
He threw 27 passes through the playoffs so far.
Wow.
That's insane. This is wild.
So, yeah, that happened. 49ers going to the Super Bowl. By the way, I was having flashbacks to the Falcons NFC Championship game where the exact same thing happened, where we fumbled twice. It was 24-0 at halftime or something. It was we haven't had the past couple. Well, we haven't had 3 good championship games in a row. But Trud, next year, you just wait.
We're gonna do it big next year.
Either way, it's fun to always watch your team play a couple extra weeks and have some hope. So I had a good time. I at least got to beat the Seahawks, so no, that's my Super Bowl. So Chiefs Titans was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Until you remember that I locked the Titans, coach.
You sure did.
You can't ignore the curse.
Ryan Tannehill was 21 of 31, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big stat, Derrick Henry, 69 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
They stopped him.
They did.
They stopped him, and that's
They
that's
actually
the key
figured
factor.
it out.
Yeah. And then, of course, Pat Mahomes, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yeah. Sammy Watkins, the leading receiver. Look at that.
Did you guys see Mahomes' rushing touchdown in that game? By the way,
Oh God, it was disgusting.
just incredible. I mean,
Yeah, it was great.
How? It looked like he was. It looked like he was back in college playing against like children. Like,
Dude, it's terrible tackling, honestly. First of all,
is,
like
yeah.
the last part of it in particular, when he's bouncing off the dude, he's so very clearly tries to strip the ball out, but he makes zero effort in the process to tackle the guy, and Mahomes just bounces off him into the end zone. Like, you're trying to make a spectacular play, but the number one priority of the defense is to not let the opponent score, and you decided in that moment to gamble everything on the turnover against stopping them on the 1, which I suppose maybe in your mind you're like, well, if they get to the 1, they're scoring anyway. So I suppose it was maybe worth it, but it resulted in a touchdown. So what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
The big thing here as well is the Chiefs spread the ball around. So Sammy Watkins, 7 catches, 114 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill had 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, 67 yards. Damian Williams, 5 catches, 44 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 2 catches, 31 yards. Travis Kelce had 3 catches, 30 yards, which is actually kind of low for him. And Mecole Hardman, a catch for 8 yards. So he had 6 different targets in addition to running it himself.
Yeah.
And then the Chiefs defense actually played pretty well. Tano Kapasagnon, I don't know how you say that, but he had 2 sacks. Frank Clark had a sack. And don't forget, they got Terrell Suggs, they got Tyrann Mathieu, like they got Bashad Breeland. So that's a guy.
Terrell Suggs? What the fuck?
Yeah.
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 He left
They
the
picked him
Cardinals
up
to go to a
earlier.
playoff team. And
Wow.
He's probably happy he picked the Chiefs over the Ravens now.
Yeah.
And Bashaud Breeland actually was with the Packers last year and had a pick, and I really hope they re-signed him. And then he went to the Chiefs, and now I really wish they re-signed him. So, it's honestly good for the Chiefs. I wanted Packers-Titans, but I think I'm pulling for the Chiefs because I really like Pat Mahomes, as he reminds me of like all the Packer quarterbacks combined into one, and so I feel like I have this weird connection to him, and so I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Then I hate the 49ers.
See, I don't hate the 49ers, but the thing is, I don't like the Chiefs because of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But I really like Patrick Mahomes. So I'm at like a really difficult impasse.
Don't let one sour grape spoil the whole bunch, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I really like Andy Reid too.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of him. Like I always thought that he got like unfairly shit on for how good of a coach he has consistently been his entire career.
He's like 15-2 after a bye week or some shit like that.
Yeah, dude, he's like one of the best coaches in the league easily.
Mm-hmm. And let's just hope Tyreek Hill on his way to the game gets like locked in an elevator, and he just can't get out. And
and one of their undrafted players turns out to be just as good. You know, then we can all be happy.
That'd be
then
convenient, yeah.
He gets cut and never plays in the NFL again.
That would be good.
So that's that game. So I guess we're moving on to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. So this year's Super Bowl will be played in Miami. So a lot of drugs probably.
Adam Gase is going to be there doing lines with his offensive line coach again.
Yep.
Be a good
It wasn't. Where was Jay Gruden spotted on the corner? was that in Miami?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I hope that guy's doing okay. By the way.
Oh, by the way, did you see the Tony Romo making fun of the ref thing?
That was hilarious.
Yeah. So in the Chiefs Titans game, they were like huddling for 12 players on the field, but they hadn't said anything yet. And Tony Romo was like, "Oh, this is an easy 12 players on the field call. I don't know why they're taking so long." And then they all huddled up, and he's like, "Oh, does this guy count as a 12th player? No, I don't think so. Wait, I think he does. All right, well," and then they start walking out, and he's like, when they start talking again, he's like, "Oh, wait, what about the punter? Does that count as oh, no, I don't. Okay, well, I have there." And then he comes out, and he's like, 12 players on the field.
It's really good. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of old clips of Tony Romo like messing around with the refs like all the time in games and stuff.
Yeah, so. There was one I saw that was so good where everybody's huddled around the spotter judge or whatever who places the football down, right? he places it down, and like Tony's been standing there behind him the whole time with his hands in his hand warmer, and he places the football down, and the ref looks to another direction, and then Tony nudges his foot in and just.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that one. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
That is great.
Here, I have the link so that I'll put it in Ball so that you can link it as well, of Tony Romo narrating the 12 men.
Oh yeah, and I'll link that in the thing.
It's funny how much more popular he got after he stopped being a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, I know, it is kind of funny.
I mean, everyone freaking loves him now. And like every commentator wishes they were that smart.
Dude, you guys know that I'm the patron saint of shit on quarterbacks. I was always a huge Tony Romo fan back in the day, because that motherfucker. Like, one of the things about Tony Romo well, I shouldn't say no one gave him credit for. A lot of people gave him credit for this, but he was really good, and his body would be shattered like every fucking game.
Oh yeah,
and he would still go and do it. Like I remember one year, a couple of years ago, where in like the first game, he punctured his lung with his own fucking rib. Didn't miss a day. fucking put on a heavy jacket and was like, a flak jacket, and was like, fuck it, there's a hole in my lung. Fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna throw the football around. I was like,
That's pretty metal.
yeah.
Well, I actually got some fun NFL news popping up here. The NFL will once again use the Pro Bowl as a testing ground for potential rule changes.
Oh.
The league officiating office announced 2 changes it'll be expecting in Sunday's All-Star game. The first could be a potentially systemic one. After a successful field goal or extra point try, the scoring team will have options with no kickoff. The scoring team A will have the following options. They may elect to give Team B the ball at Team B's 25-yard line, beginning a new series of downs with a 1st and 10, or may elect to take the ball at its own 25-yard line for a 4th and 15 play. If Team A is successful in making a first down, they'll maintain possession and a new series of downs will continue as normal.
Oh, that's the Schiano proposal. I'm so glad they're actually fucking... Oh, dude, if they do that, the games will be so much more exciting next year.
They would be...
That's insane. That's a crazy, entire change to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it would make it a lot more exciting, too. Because when an onside kick comes up, it's like, well, here's my 1 in 50 chance or whatever to get the onside kick, and we didn't.
Unless you have Young Wei Koo.
Of course.
Right, yeah.
But that's a 1 in 32. So it'd be fun, too, because it's like, all right, maybe your team's on fire, they're rolling. It's like, all right, 4th and 15, let's go. And the defense is like, all right, we can stop a 4th and 15, right? And then, you actually get a real football battle with it.
Actually, if you want to know about the Schiano proposal, and if you want to hear a passionate man defending it, there's a John Boys video. John Boys is a brilliant fucking genius, by the way, if you've never seen him. But it's called "Kickoffs Are Stupid and Bad and No One Likes Them" or something like that. It's a great video, and
those 2 sentences right after the other, dude. That was so great.
Yeah, dude. But seriously, it's a great video. Here, I'll link it too. But I would recommend it if you want to learn about that thing that they're gonna try in the Pro Bowl. This is a good video for it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I'm going to link it.
Yeah.
So, there's not really anything else I could say. It's a 16-minute long video.
Let's see. There's the rule tweak is the latest attempt to minimize kickoffs, which are among the most dangerous plays in football. So it actually, I think, has a good chance of passing because the NFL really wants to reduce dangerous plays and CTE and injuries. Mm-hmm. So I think that would probably be in the direction they'd like to go, and I think it'd be fun.
If I can make an argument that comes out of that John Boys video, so the reason, by the way, that kickoffs are the most dangerous is not because of what you would necessarily expect, because you're expecting maybe that intuitively it's the kick returner running full speed ahead into other guys running downfield, and that's what causes the injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not the case. What's actually the reason that it's so bad is because whether or not if you're a blocker for your kick returner, you don't know whether he's going to call a fair catch or not. So by the time the ball gets to him, you have already made contact with the other team. And those are those subconcussive hits that we were talking about earlier. Everybody on the kick return team is just bashing into the other team. And, the same injuries happen on the other side as well. And oftentimes the guy just kneels in the end zone. So they bash around their brains for no reason. And then they can move on to the next play anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's why it's so much fun, Rob. I hated being on kickoff teams. I hated it. It was horrible.
I believe it.
It was a lot more fun being on kickoff defense than kickoff return. Having to block for people was just
yeah. It was.
I'd rather be the one who's getting blocked.
I mean, it was always fun when you get a crazy kickoff return for a touchdown, but any other time it's all right.
Take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes another argument in the video too, which is that compared to punt returns, on punt returns, people are running all over the place and dodging tackles and shit. on kick returns, even if they score, they usually just move in a straight line. Like it's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
like there's a hole and they run through it and they get a touchdown.
Yeah.
True.
So
So the second rule change for the Pro Bowl pertains to false starts by a flexed wide receiver. It is not a false start if a flexed eligible receiver in a 2-point stance who flinches or picks up one foot as long as his other foot remains partially on the ground and he resets for 1 second prior to the snap. A receiver who fits this exception is not considered to be in motion for the purposes of illegal shift rules.
that's pretty fun.
I thought that was already a rule though. Like a receiver in motion is allowed to like move and stuff.
Yeah, but they
Like
can't
as long
move
as if he plants.
vertically.
Well, yeah, but if he plants his feet, he's allowed to move like horizontally. The thing that was confusing for me was seeing them getting flagged for moving like slightly forward if they knew that they were going to be in like in like if they were going to swap sides of the field like in a play, not in play action, but if they did like an audible or something like that. And seeing them being flagged for a false start and stuff, I thought that as long as they didn't plant their feet after readjusting, it's not going to get called. I never knew that was like, I never knew that's what they were looking for. Is like if they nudged up from where they previously lined up on the line before they went in motion, that sort of thing.
But you know what this could open up? I don't know if it will, but that could open up hard counts that are coordinated with the wide receivers, like fucking over the DBs trying to get them to cross the neutral zone. So like this feels like an Aaron Rodgers buff, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'll take as many of those as I can get. So it's pretty cool. At least they're using the Pro Bowl for something.
Yep.
And black hole to travel with Raiders to Vegas. Neat.
Ooh. Congrats, Bear.
I don't know what that is.
We'll be launching our Black Hole chapter in Vegas with an official chapter party, Ortega said of the planned Super Bowl launch. We're already here. We have our office. We are more than just fun stuff. We make ourselves known in the community. Cool.
Sounds like a bunch of straight edge kids trying to.
That's what I think of when I think of the Black Hole. And so
we're gonna play our music really loud.
We picked up some RC colas.
You guys like Sody Pops, right? So yeah, cool. Neat. I'm sure the Black Hole Raiders fans are ecstatic.
Hide your wives and daughters. Here they come.
Didn't y'all see that's the other part of the news? The more Brady speculation. Apparently, some people think he could go to the Raiders.
Oh.
Which there's gonna be two things that happen with Brady news once we actually have some concrete stuff. I'm either gonna be like absolutely miserable, just inconsolably sad, or I'm gonna be thrilled that. Well, actually, it's one of two versions of thrilled, too. Thrilled that he's on the Pats, or he's going to be on the Raiders. I'm going to be ecstatic, dude, because I'll be able to see him play. I'll go to a game. I'll be fucking thrilled.
That would be incredible, actually, for you. I would.
If Brady goes to the Raiders, I will eat my iPhone.
We're going to have to eat something either way, but yeah.
But that's...
It would be wild to shit on Derek Carr like that, though, because like he had a great year.
He did have a good year.
You know,
yeah, they've got him on a long-term deal too, don't they?
Yeah, like it would be really weird for them to do that because like I feel like this was, if there ever was a breakout year for him, it was this year, and you know, like he's not the problem. Like
Dude,
he's clearly not the problem. Other things are the problem.
Imagine if Tom Brady goes to the Los Angeles Chargers and they get fans. You never know.
Start actually attending their games.
He's. I just wanted to answer Bear's question about Carr's contract. He will be going into his third year of the 5-year contract extension he signed back in 2017 for $125 million.
Jeez,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So that'd be a weird move for sure.
40
Yeah.
million signing bonus, or sorry, 40 million guaranteed at signing.
How
So-
much dead cap would there be if they cut him this year?
Well, he just got done with the second year of the extension, so whatever that'd be 60 million, I think.
Hold on, I'll check on
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, looking.
I only have I only have the stats on this actual contract, not the dead if they signed him or if they released him.
It was actually pretty interesting. Someone or CBS made every NFL team's projected 2020 starting quarterback, including where Tom Brady could land. They said Tom Brady, Los Angeles Chargers. I've long heard this spot would hold unique appeal with Brady since he has trainers there, his family and stuff like all around there to make it easy for him.
They're gonna just say that about L.A.
Well, yeah.
That's just Los Angeles.
But here's the thing: that's why LeBron went to LA in
Yeah, I
basketball.
guess,
I mean, you never know.
So, if you wanted to know if the Raiders cut Derek Carr before June 1st, they'll pick up about $11 million
Okay.
in cap space.
Hmm.
So he'd have $5 million, so they'd still be paying him $7.5 million over the course of the next 2 years, but they would save more than they would lose.
Well, this person also has Derek Carr going to the Washington Redskins.
That'd be wild.
That would be wild. Then he has the Buccaneers picking up Phillip Rivers, which I'm starting to think is going to happen.
Woo!
Then he has the Raiders picking up Jameis Winston.
Oh no!
Honestly, if you
I
put
guess
him
I'm
in
not going
Vegas,
to games.
Yeah, have fun, Bear.
dude,
Enjoy my misery.
you put him in Vegas, dude, that's gonna be like they'll watch you throw like 50,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, 50 picks.
And the Uber
screwed.
drivers can't wait to get groped there.
Yep. Then they say New England could get Teddy Bridgewater, which
Oh no!
Okay.
honestly, that's like probably a really good situation for
Dude,
Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm telling you, I would not mind landing Teddy in Tampa. I
Yeah.
totally would love having him.
I think you would be right in feeling that way because he's both a dope guy and seems like he's just a good quarterback too. So all the more reason that Teddy, please don't go to the Ministry of Evil. Don't do it.
Man. Then the other things they got, the Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow, they'll pick. Bears, Andy Dalton. Colts
Yeah.
with Brissett, maybe Mariota. Dolphins probably taking Tua to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then pretty much everything else is pretty standard across the board. So that is interesting. We're gonna get a lot of quarterback mix up this year, and not even young quarterbacks like we've seen, like veteran quarterbacks, which is the crazy part.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah,
Could be a lot. This is probably going to be a good offseason for shakeups.
yeah.
Honestly.
So I think that's pretty much it. Invicta. We have NFL Power Rankings.
We do indeed, Coach. Here we go.
Fantastic.
NFL Power Rankings, NFL.com. Guys, it's going to be a hard time to figure this one out. But I'm going to let you try your best. Can you name the top two, starting with Robert?
Oh,
Think about it, man. It's
Do
gonna
it.
be
You
tough.
can do it, Rob. You can
Fuck.
do it.
Oh, Jesus. Man,
I'll give you a hint. They're still in the hunt for the Super Bowl.
Ooh, okay, dude, that should narrow it down.
Shit, man, you're really putting me on the spot here, dude. I don't know.
There's only a few,
I'll
I think.
give you because I know it's tough. I'll give you even one better.
Okay.
They are either in the NFC or the AFC.
Dude, fuck. Why'd you have to put so much pressure on him? This is
I'm
ridiculous.
sorry, Rob. I'm
It's
sorry,
the
Bear.
Titans. The Titans. The Titans.
That's absolutely incorrect. It's
Ah.
unbelievable that you didn't get
Damn
it.
it.
Bear, who you got?
Is it the Chiefs?
It is absolutely the Chiefs coming
What?
in here at
Chiefs?
number.
I,
Of course it's
I
the Kansas
softened
City
it up for you.
Chiefs.
I
You
loosened
did.
it.
Yeah,
for
you made it a
you
little
know.
easier.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
The Chiefs go all the way up to the second spot, so they're ranked dead last. Good job, Bear. And can Coach Krendor come on in with the dunk for the number one position in the power rankings, Coach? I'll give you a hint. They play in the NFC.
All right.
I'll give you an even better hint. They defeated your
Dallas
Green
Cowboys.
Bay Packers. 100% incorrect. Rob, you got one last chance to get this one. Coach dropped the ball there.
All right. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point that it is the AFC Pro Bowl team.
That is absolutely incorrect. Unbelievable that you guys didn't get it right. There's only 2 teams left in the power rankings on the NFLPowerRankings.com, Coach. It is going to be the San Francisco
the Boston
40
Celtics.
Niners. Nope, that's the wrong sport,
Is
wrong
it the
team.
Houston Oilers?
No, they don't. They are no longer an organization. Rob,
Winnipeg
if they
Jets.
they weren't in the NFC. No, I don't know
The
anything about hockey.
Cleveland Bulldogs?
The New England
no.
Revolution.
It isn't the Cleveland Revolution. It's the French Indian Banana War of 1812.
Is it Chariot Team Blue from the Byzantine Empire?
Chariot Team Blue, unfortunately for you, Rob. It was a good guess. It was right within the region, though, so you got that one right a little bit. But it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh,
now,
that makes sense.
Here we go, Bear, because this is your favorite stat. The fattest doink.
There we go.
The team that dropped the most out of any of the other teams in the NFL. This team has dropped 0 spots. Can you name the team for the fattest doink Bearcat?
Was that the Kansas City Chiefs?
It is absolutely correct. The Kansas City Chiefs have not moved.
Wow.
The fattest doink, dropping all the way down to the doldrums in the NFL. 0 spots, moving in from 0 spots. Now, Robert, here we go. This was going to be the toughest one, Rob. But I have faith. You can make up for the Blue Chariot Revolution banana, whatever you said. The thinnest dink. This team has risen all the way up to the number 1 spot, climbing the furthest of any other team in the NFL, a total of 0 spots. Name that team, Robert.
The New York Jets.
That is absolutely 100% totally wrong. It is the San Francisco 49ers. They have moved up to the top again, climbing all the way up from 1 to 1, and they're looking good. So everyone else's teams aren't in, so congrats to everyone who isn't a 49ers fan or I guess maybe a Chiefs fan. And we'll see you all next season.
Yeah.
I do want to say that I am technically partially correct because the Jets moved up 0 spots. So
they're not in the running. Right?
They're still in the same place though.
Yeah, that's true. They are.
He's right.
He's right.
They're not listed here. Right?
All right.
Back up to Coach in the booth. Dun-dun-dun.
Thank you very much. So again, as we look towards the Super Bowl, now all of us look towards the NFL draft and free agency. But currently, if we take a look at some NFL mock drafts, we've got, let's see, we got our teams taken here, according to some. So this has the Jets again taking CD Lamb. We got the Bucks taking Grant Delpit, a safety from LSU. Patriots, Cole Kmet, tight end Notre Dame.
Yeah,
And-
we need that desperately.
Yep. And
Need
Packers,
receivers, too.
Raekwon Davis, Alabama defensive lineman. I'll take that. And in another mock draft that I found, just dialing up the mock draft here. This one has the Jets taking CD Lamb. It has the Bucks taking Jedrick Willis, offensive tackle, which I think they could definitely need.
Dude's name is Jedrick.
He sure is. But he's probably better than whatever cardboard cutout you got at offensive tackle right now.
Yep.
The Patriots taking Javon Kinlaw, South Carolina defensive tackle. And the Packers taking Austin Jackson, offensive tackle. Here's the thing. Most of these picks will probably not happen, as we've seen from previous NFL drafts, when teams just trade shit and move up and down, and they'll be like, I can't wait to take CeeDee Lamb Jr., and then the Jets are like, we take defensive back,
Yeah.
Jimbo Johnson.
Don't
Quarterback,
put that
They'll be
evil
like,
on
Jimbo
me.
Johnson isn't projected for 4 rounds. He's a 4th round prospect. I don't know why the Jets
Jimbo
do that.
Johnson just walked into the conference room accidentally. He wasn't even supposed to be here.
We want sap. We want sap.
The Jets
Yeah.
really got one heck of a pickup here, Coach. They took Brett Favre when no one was expecting them.
And
They got a steal.
Then CeeDee Lamb goes to the Las Vegas Raiders and becomes an all-pro NFL historian wide receiver. Crazy.
You know, I said it, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or something, where I was like, if we take CeeDee Lamb, it would be pretty hilarious because I did that very thing in my Madden game playing as the Jets. But I personally would, if we are at 11 and we take a wide receiver, I will be slightly disappointed. Very slightly, because I'll be ultimately happy that we take offense, but I think we would have to trade back at that point. If there's no O-line on the board by then we need to get the fuck out, accrue some picks, because you could get a receiver in the second round. In fact, it seems relatively common that the best receivers are second rounders, not first rounders.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've actually
We'll see.
noticed that quite a bit as well, except for this year when there's actually a pretty good amount of decent wide receivers in the first round.
yeah. But we'll see down the line if that's going to be the case.
Yeah. So that leads us to our final pick'ems.
Final pick'ems.
Pick'ems.
Thank you, Pikachu, again. Filling in. Good to see you.
So yeah. Well, we can also pick the Pro Bowl winner. You guys want to pick the Pro Bowl winner?
Yay!
The fans, Krendor.
Yeah, the fans.
Yeah.
They win.
I might actually watch this one if they have the Schiano rule in there. I'd
Yeah,
like to see
actually, I'd watch that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will not be watching it because it's
Okay.
the Pro Bowl.
yeah, that's fair.
I'll pick a Pro Bowl winner though if that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Sure.
The
I don't
NFC.
I don't care. I don't want to pick.
I'm gonna
You
go
gotta pick-
ahead.
You got to pick one or the other, Bear. You can't abstain here unless you call a tie.
Krendor, you go first.
I'm gonna go with the AFC.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You're going against the Packers, Coach?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go AFC as well because Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Let's go AFC.
All right. Well, I look forward to getting all of your wins this week.
Very nice.
Yep.
And now the grand prize, the Super Bowl.
Well, actually, quick question:
Okay.
Are we gonna skip next week?
Yeah, I'll probably skip next week. I think it's not really
That's what I was thinking,
nothing's
right?
really gonna be happening.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we skipped it last year too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah.
else.
Our last this will be our final show unless we do a season wrap up, which is possible.
yeah, we can do a
I
season
think we
wrap
will,
up.
Yeah. We'll probably do. And then we'll do draft stuff too and whatnot.
Well,
Are
the
you
draft
gonna-
stuff we'll do it in like April.
Are we gonna watch the Super Bowl together?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
We'll do that if you guys want.
Yeah.
I'll probably
we-
be watching it.
We can
Yeah.
do a three guys watch the Super Bowl and a
Yeah.
bear watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah, stay tuned to Twitter to check out our Twitch channels
What
and
is
whatnot.
all this anime twinkle toad bullshit going on right now?
Don't be afraid of high pitches.
They're wonderful. Dancing.
Thank God this is the final show of the season. This is where we go after we're done with the show here.
That was very well done, Rob. I admired that.
Oh, thank you. I wish I knew the lyrics better.
Yeah, little Timmy. Thank you. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah. Classic.
Super Bowl predictions. Here we go, Coach Krendor. Who you got?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Bear Taffy.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
Robert Alpaca Patrol.
I don't know. Come back in a second.
Well, I'll make your decision easy because people have been tweeting at me and sending me messages and asking me in my own Twitch chat, Invicta, who are you locking for the Super Bowl so we know who to bet against? Guys, I'm very happy to announce that my lock, which is a guaranteed win, by the way, at this point, guaranteed to win, is none other than the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm switching to the Chiefs.
I am a
locked
Chiefs.
the Niners. Congrats. 49ers, first time in 50 years. You're going to get yourself a title. And I'm rooting for you, Jimmy G. Congrats on the Super Bowl ring. And, I'm glad to have taken your money. So congrats to the Niners. You are a surefire lock.
Oh, no.
And you will always remember this day.
I changed my mind. I'm locking in the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, that completely cemented it for me because my gut was saying Chiefs and the curse has said Chiefs to me. But the reason I'm reticent about this is because the Chiefs' defense is middling and the Niners will run them to death. But Patrick Mahomes. So,
Yeah.
in conclusion, I'm locking the Chiefs.
Is a
Yep.
surefire win, Rob. My lock, the 49ers will not lose this ever.
Yep, I'll be locking the Chiefs. So those are our Super Bowl picks.
And all of you out there who are offering money to for me to lock your team, then you can come by my Twitch channel and pay me in Amazon Prime subs, Twitch Prime subs.
Yep.
One of those.
No, but we learned how powerful the curse is. Whoever your first curse was is who's cursed.
That's
you can't take it back anymore. You've done it.
true. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I had Chiefs fans wanting me to lock
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
the Niners, and that's who I was going to go with. I never revealed my lock because I didn't want to give it away.
Hopefully,
But
you have more fans from Kansas City than from the state of California.
I'm sure I do. I'm pretty sure that I do. But we've all proven with Coach trying to bribe me to lock the Niners the first time, so they wouldn't have to play the Ravens. That clearly does not work because my lock was going to be the Ravens that week that they lost. So my heart and the curse lock say the Niners guaranteed 100% gonna win.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching this entire season, everyone. Join us for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Are we going to have a channel set up, or are we just gonna use one of our?
No,
channels?
this is one of ours. Okay.
Yeah, just use ours. Yeah. Oh, dude. Actually, by the way, quick thing before we leave. You remember I gave you that stat that like it'll be the first Super Bowl without Tom Brady, XYZ, all those other people or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently, this is also going to be the first Super Bowl in the last 7 years that didn't involve either C.J. Anderson or LeGarrette Blount.
That is quite the stat.
That is crazy, right?
That is
weird.
pretty
I
crazy.
didn't realize C.J. Anderson had been in so many Super Bowls.
Apparently, yeah.
All the
Seven-
Packers had to do was sign them both.
You should have.
Oh my God.
There's still time, by the way.
There's still
pick
time.
Yeah.
Well, neat. That's gonna do it. And I don't know. Go Chiefs, I guess. Oh, and subscribe and follow us and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Goodbye. Bye. We're done. Yep. Bye.